It's a lighter. Was that like a fireball or something that he attempted to throw at the wall?
Every professional wrestler will one day lace up their boots for the final time, and for some of these guys, that finale to the career can end up being the best memory these wrestlers take with them. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. I'm D Wicked from Watch WWE, and here's 10 of the most memorable final WWE matches of all time. Number 10, Bret Hart. Like I said, memorable does not always have to be a good thing. While some of you may immediately jump to Bret Hart's career-ending injury from the Starrcade matchup against Goldberg, that actually wasn't his last wrestling match. Not even close, truth be told. He wrestled multiple times after that match in the same week without ever realizing that he was concussed out of his goddamned mind. No, instead we're talking about Bret Hart's true finale, toppling God himself, Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon at WrestleMania 26. Around 13 years after the Montreal Screwjob, these two titans finally decided to lace up the boots and settle their differences in one of the weirdest, absolute worst WrestleMania matches, moments, mishaps, call it what you will, because it really wasn't a match. This was not good, folks. 2010 was a weird year, seeing as Bret Hart would also go on to win the United States Championship afterwards, but like I said, neither match has any wrestling in it, so it doesn't even matter per the list. Who cares? What is happening?
Bret Hart's signature submission hold brings an end to one of the most volatile rivalries in WWE history.
Number 9, Shawn Michaels. And speaking of the Montreal Screwjob, as well as people who regrettably came out of their retirement for the almighty dollar, welcome back, Shawn. The cheeky little heartbreak kid would have easily gone down with the greatest retirement in WWE history. Like, it's not even a question. It's not even a debate. No shadow of a doubt. But then Saudi happened, and we don't like Saudi very much because of it. I mean, and the murders and such. So instead of those Duo Mania classics against The Undertaker to close out the career, he let 8 years pass and then one mistake slide, as HBK made it very clear he was not too hot on his own WWE Super Showdown match.
Shawn Michaels up to the top rope. Michaels moonsaults. God almighty.
Number 8, Richard Flair, and yet again we have something that should have been great being kicked in the dick by a wrestler who should have been celebrated. If Michaels' retirement was the best, Flair's was just shy of that top spot, with the iconic Shawn Michaels WrestleMania match being some of his best career work, along with, I mean, come on, I'm Sorry, I Love You. That's one of the most emotional WWE moments of all literal time.
Flair wants to fight. Oh.
Rick honored this retirement for about under 2 years before skipping off to TNA, wrestling a few embarrassments, having a woo-off with Jay Lethal, which was actually pretty damn great, and because of course he did, ended his career with one last final matchup against his greatest and very longest rival, Sting. This match happened in 2011, which I'm pretty sure makes it the 5th consecutive decade that these two had faced off with against each other. That's too many decades to be fighting the same guy. Come on now.
Scorpion Deathlock applied. Submission hold applied. There it is. Is Flair gonna tap? He taps. He taps.
Number 7, Goldberg. Alright, fuck all this complaining. Give me a final match that I can really sink my teeth into and give a shit about. Well, we can't actually confirm that it's his last, but after both Taker and Goldberg tarnished each other's reputations with that hellish what even of course it fucking guessed at Saudi.
No way Goldberg's gonna be able to do this to The Undertaker!
No way!
Oh my God!
Both had a return match almost immediately after to make our recency bias of them feel a little bit better on the inside. While Undertaker would team up with Roman Reigns to fight off advances of Shane McMahon, I guess, Goldberg stuck back against Dolph Ziggler in what is now my favorite SummerSlam match of all time. I've never seen someone sell a spear so goddamn beautifully.
Also gonna put this away quick.
Number 6, Edge. Alright, we're cheating a little bit here, okay? Because Edge's technical last match was a SmackDown taping, but it was like a big 10-man tag team. It wasn't on TV, and no one gives a shit. But as far as TV and pay-per-views go, Adam Copeland walked out of WWE pretty much as on top as one possibly could, retiring at WrestleMania as the undefeated World Heavyweight Champion. There, I fucking find a way to do it. After his successful title defense against Alberto Del Rio at the Show of Shows, that SmackDown taping saw Edge go for a spear on the outside of the ring after the match, and whatever way he landed on his neck caused a blow that ended a career, but at least will thankfully always have his one last triumph.
Spear! Spear! Del Rio's down! And Edge retains his championship!
Number 5, Christian. And hey, when Edge is busy retiring over neck issues, Christian's getting ready to slide right in there and take that World Heavyweight Championship away from a perusing Alberto and his buddy's honor. And ironically enough, Christian's retirement also ended up being draped in a little bit of gold. Or at least, hey, shut the fuck up. Or at least the contendership of it. Christian's final match was actually a fatal 4-way #1 contenders match to the Intercontinental Championship, at the time held by a pre-New Day Big E. The match also featured Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, and go figure, Alberto Del Rio, and Christian would pick up the victory to give him a shot at that Big E title. Christian would retire from a concussion just a couple months afterwards, so at least he gets to call himself the permanent #1 contender to the strap.
Christian got him! Is the opportunist! Yes, he is! Christian's gonna battle for the Intercontinental title!
Number 4, Tonka. Alright. This one isn't it's not great. It's not even good. It's not even memorable, but like, guys, what the fuck was the Tonka doing in the 2016 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? These are the questions that WWE will never answer for us. This Native American pro wrestler from the 90s has made a few returns to WWE over the years for some reason, all seemingly random, with this unannounced participation at Mania 32 being by far the most egregious. I mean, seriously, the fucking guy, a WWE veteran, didn't even get his own entrance music for the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. I'll never not be at least a little confused about multiple aspects of this. Fucking Tonka.
Now Tonka's got him zeroed in. All members of Social Outcast still in this Battle Royal. And that was Tonka eliminated.
Number 3, CM Punk. Why are there actually rumors about a WWE return for Cinnamon Meshuggah Punk? And of all the ways for his return to finally be possible, how anticlimactic would it be if seriously it's just him coming back through this new WWE backstage show? Anyway, given the backstage lore surrounding the moment, Punk's final match that we know of currently in WWE was the 2014 Royal Rumble, and wow. If you're looking at it with symbolism, this is not a great look as his final match, because it's just, it's mwah. As Punk would start out the match all the way at the beginning, grind as hard as he could, fight his way all the way towards the final 4 before having his legs literally cut out from beneath him by an authority figure, this time Kane.
Hey, look at this! And now Kane! Oh my lord! Kane eliminating Punk!
Wow. That's a clear image, and it's a picture, and it's of his entire career in WWE. That is rough symbolism, even for Punk and WWE's estranged relationship. Number 2, Mr. Perfect. Irony, ladies and gentlemen. Let us discuss. You see, given his name and quite frankly his acumen and pure talent, as the dude really did play that Mr. Perfect shit well, you'd probably assume Mr. Perfect's grand finale from wrestling to be something fantastic. Unless, of course, you know what irony means, in which case this whole part was probably a bit pointless. Towards the end of his career, you may know that Kurt Hennig, the man behind the myth, was heavy into a drug addiction, which would unfortunately take his life while still actively competing in the ring. His final ever match was against David Flair. Oh shit. You know what that means. That's gotta be TNA, which means Vince Russo is also involved, because this is 2003. So take that match and let's make it stupid, because we got Mr. Perfect's last ever time in the ring, and he spent it trying to retrieve a goddamn axe handle from a pole. It was an axe handle on a pole match against Ric Flair's kid. I'm not kidding.
What is that about? He pie-faced him after he went up and did his work for him.
And number 1, The Ultimate Warrior. Wow, a lot of these just really ended up depressing more than anything else. Proof that 9 out of 10 times you are not going to pick your own destiny inside the ring. And even when a good one is handed to you on a silver WrestleMania shaped platter, you're still probably going to find a way to fuck it up. The Ultimate Warrior basically had 2 last matches. His final TV match for either WCW or WWF, the classic Halloween Havoc rematch between himself and Hulk Hogan. You know, the one where Hulk Hogan actually Kamehameha'd a fucking fireball at the Warrior. What? And then there's his final match on the Indies, which I didn't know that Warrior wrestled the Indies, but he showed up bafflingly wrestling in 2008 Orlando JBL's Cabinet Jordan. What?
A lighter.
Was that like a fireball or something that he attempted to throw at the Warrior?
And those are the 10, maybe memorable isn't the right word for this list. Those are 10 final matches in WWE. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below. After liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and notifications, ring that bell.